All right, testing the sounds. If you do hear some screaming in the background, this is just me pre-framing. My partner is a masseuse, a massage therapist. She's a client here and she tends to make her clients scream with all those trigger points. So if you hear some screaming, don't be alarmed. Hey guys, what's up homeboys, homegirls? Welcome to this video. Whether you are an agency and you're looking to scale and get your fulfillment done through a social media marketer or manager, or if you're somebody who is just absolutely fed up and spending all their time on creating content, scheduling content, managing all the socials, I'm going to be covering stuff for both of you here. So stick around. I've got this video absolutely jam-packed with golden nuggets for you. Before we jump into the juice, guys, be sure to like and subscribe, please. It helps with the algorithms and I would appreciate it because I want to help more people like yourself. Now, one of my agencies, I have a virtual assistant recruitment agency, just to clarify. Now, one of my agency's most in-demand services are social media managers and marketers. We have over 60 staff now, and many of these are in the social media management realm. We've actually really honed in and kind of niched down and specialized on working with coaches and consultants and all sorts of business owners with their social media management and marketing. So we know how to find those hires and find those people in that top 1%. And this is essentially our genius zone. I want to share that with you in this video. So when it comes to scaling sustainably and growing your business, a key component to this is actually looking at delegating and outsourcing parts of your operation and your delivery. If you're in the startup stage, you might not go so well with hiring an in-house team or employees. That tends to cost a lot more in comparison to hiring a virtual assistant who works abroad, a remote virtual assistant. There is around about a third of companies that are outsourcing some sort of their operations and delivery when it comes to the marketing and the sales. So it's not a new concept. It can either go very, very well or it can go terribly wrong. So I look at it as either multiplying problems or multiplying production. So in this video, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm going to go through the who, the what, the where, and the why. So everything you need to know in these 4 parts, make it really concise and easy for you guys to digest. So the first part of this as to why, I think I've already just covered that. You know that it is cost effective. Hiring someone in-house as opposed to somebody who is abroad, it's going to end up costing you a fraction of the cost. I would go somewhere near about a quarter of the price. In a previous video of mine, I just crunched some of the numbers. And so someone who is, say, full-time in-house, $40 an hour, and they're working 40 hours a week, that's 160 hours a month, that's going to end up costing about $6,400. Now, if you're looking at someone abroad, let's just say it's around the $10 mark. You can get someone highly skilled for $10 at 40 hours a week, so full-time, 160 hours a month, that's going to cost you $1,600. It's almost like $5,000 difference between the two, just to give you a bit of an idea about the cost effectiveness. The next thing I'm going to cover is when. When should you hire? A mentor of mine once said to me, hire before you think you are ready. If I'm going from my own personal experience, when I was still working as a mental health nurse and I was doing night shift, to try and stay afloat whilst I was building my business up, before I was even paying myself, I had hired an HR recruitment specialist, I had my accounting outsourced, and I had someone who was helping me with my content and my social media. That was a lesson that I didn't really need to learn because I had already done it. I realized the value in it. I hired before I thought I was ready, and it paid off. I was able to grow very quickly within a short amount of time. But don't be one of those people that you sit there doing the repetitive things that you really don't like for a long period of time, and you get to the point where all your zest, all your creative juices are just zapped, you're dry because you've spent so much time on the shit that you don't like. That's when we start to really question, you sit there and you're like, what's my purpose again? You get so stuck and your head's just down in the stuff that you're not enjoying, right? It's not conducive to your genius zone. So we want to outsource anything that's outside of our genius zone. So hire before you think you're ready. But when I say hire before you think you're ready, still crunch your numbers. Make sure that you've got enough cash in there to support someone for X amount of time. Go and hire someone and then 2 weeks later be like, I can't pay you. Just make sure you crunch your numbers, basics. The next point here is what. So what I mean by what is what to look for. So what are you looking for when you're looking for a social media manager or a social media marketer? marketer. If it was easy to go out and find like an all-star social media marketer, absolute rock star, everyone would be hiring and everyone would be flourishing. You know, there's a few points that need to be covered here in order to make sure that you can really hone in and get to that top 1%. So the first point here is you kind of want this person to not be as entrepreneurial as what you might be yourself. So if you're going out and you've got all these new ideas and you're constantly innovating, creating, and you know, big plans for impact, that's great. But if you've hired somebody on your team who's also that way, then likely they're not going to be sticking around for long term. So if you are looking for someone for a long-term gig here, just keep that in mind when you're hiring. You don't want somebody who's got 3 or 4 businesses on the side, because your business and what you need to be done, that's going to get put on the back burner eventually. So the second point here is when you're looking for someone, you're hiring, you're recruiting, you're combing through all the people, you want to be looking at their portfolio. So checking their results, tangible results. You want to be looking at some profiles that they've handled, or some content creation that they've done, how they've married up certain graphics. Do they use Canva or Adobe, and what's their graphic skills like? Or have they done video editing? Get some like stone rock hard results and get them to show you their portfolio. Most social media marketers, because it's so in demand these days, most of them have like a little website where you can go and you can actually just easily navigate through their results that they have there. The third part to this is core values. And when I say core values, I'm kind of meaning resonance here. It's really important when you're looking to onboard any new staff member. You don't want someone who's chalk and cheese. That might work in relationships. They say that all the time. But if you have someone that, like if you're a family person who's kind of a little bit settled, introverted, and then you go and hire somebody who's partying all the time and staying up late and kind of doesn't have that resonance with you, it's probably not going to be a good partnership. If you were a partier, hiring a partier, y'all party folk are going to get each other, right? So looking at those core values and what's important to you, and that'll help you really feel into whether this person that you're hiring, whether you resonate with them as well. In short, you actually want to like the person, and this person, they're going to be a lot more likable if you've got more in common. This is really, really important for the big picture, for the long-term big picture. When you're essentially sharing your vision and your mission with someone, if they don't get you, if you don't like them and they don't like you, they're not going to share your vision and your mission. Okay, it's not going to go very far with that person. So just, you know, make sure you like them. So the next point real quick here is like, this is, yeah, whatever. It's a bit boring. It's not sexy at all. Skills and experience. Yeah. You want to, when you're looking at the CV, just making sure that they've actually got that 2, 3, 4, 5 years experience that you're looking for. We've got different levels in my agency. We go base, mid, and pro. We've got task focused, goal focused, and then outcome focused people. And the different years of experience, like these guys are 1 to 3, these guys are 3 to 5, and these guys we consider experts. They're 6, 7, 8+ years experience in the industry. So think about their skills and experience and what kind of responsibility you want this person to have, because you're going to be paying quite a higher hourly rate, and in that sort of mid to pro range, if you want somebody who is more independent, works quite autonomously, runs campaigns independently. The task oriented, it might cost a little bit less, but you know, this person might not be thinking outside of the box as much, or have as much initiative, or be able to collaborate with you much on campaigns and stuff. Okay, so thinking about those skills and experiences there. Another one here is I want you to think about their current workload and capacity, because if you're not hiring full-time and you're hiring someone part-time, chances are most people want job security. So if you can't offer them full-time hours, chances are they're going to be looking for full-time work somewhere or extra clients. And if they find an extra client that wants them on for 40 full-time hours, then bye, you're going to just get left behind. Make sure when you're looking for someone, get their work capacity. You might have someone who is taking care of their family for a few hours a week and they're only available to work part-time, and if that fulfills your requirements, then awesome. You don't have to worry about them going off and finding another job. But ask about their work capacity. How many other clients do you have? How many hours are you available for? And last but not least, which I've already spoken about, is budget allocation. Crunch your numbers, guys. You know, make sure that you can actually hire someone for a certain period of time. Like I've had clients that I've onboarded and then 2-3 weeks later, they're not able to pay their bills because something's come up or they don't have any cash in the bank. Please crunch your numbers. This is someone's livelihood. Like you gotta remember that. Like you are paying for the food on their table. You know, even though they're a contractor and not technically, I guess, an employee, depending on your agreement with them, like still just out of ethics and humanity, crunch your numbers. Now, if you guys are still a little bit unsure on what types of things in your social media marketing and management that you should be delegating, I am going to leave a link below to my delegation cheat sheet. It's helped hundreds of other entrepreneurs. It's killer. Go check it out, and it can also help you to create your SOPs. I'll leave the link below for that one. Last but not least, where? So where are you going to hire? There's two options here. One is going to be hire yourself. 2 is going to be you hire through an agency. Now, what's the difference between these? Depending on what you choose, it's really going to depend on what kind of responsibility you want to have, and it's also going to depend on how much time and resources that you have when it comes to hiring new team members. Now, if you are hiring yourself, this is where you get to put your recruiter pants on, your HR pants on, and you can go to a number of platforms to find social media managers and marketers. I've actually got a full walkthrough video. I'm not going to go too in depth with it here. Go check out my video here on how to hire a virtual assistant, and that'll take you through that quite in-depth recruitment process. But just a brief on it here, if you do have a smaller budget and you have a lot more time under your sleeves, then you're going to be looking at platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr. There's another one, onlinejobs.ph. This is where we do a lot of our recruiting from as well, so you do pay a monthly subscription for that. Upwork and Fiverr, obviously really good, massive platforms. Here's another video that I did on the pros and cons of Upwork. Go and check that out. So going through any of these platforms, like I mentioned, you are going to be the actual recruiter yourself, so you're going through and you're combing through those applications. And then after, when you have hired someone, then you've got to manage the actual HR, the human resources, because we're dealing with humans here, right? So you are the HR person yourself. So you want to make sure that they're feeling valued in what they're doing. You might want to be looking at paying for their healthcare, getting them onto some training and paid workshops and stuff like that. That's a big part of what agencies are actually doing. This is what my company is doing. We're making sure our staff feel valued in what they're doing. Just quick, good option here as well for hiring yourself is Facebook socials. You'd be surprised when you go out and you post something on Facebook or your social channels, what comes back as well. So that's a really good option. There's also lots of Facebook groups where you can find people in there and do posts. And just quickly, also just speaking to your colleagues and your partners and your friends around you and asking them about their team members. You might get a really good referral or recommendation. So moving on, if you're time savvy and you do have a budget allocation there for hiring team members and expanding there, then absolutely go through a virtual assistant recruitment agency like the Speed Up Co. That's my company. I'm going to leave a link to the website below. So essentially what we specialize in is finding the top 1% that there is out there based on your requirements. It's really hands-off. We do the heavy lifting for you. We handle the legal, the payroll, the admin, the billing. We handle the staff morale. We make sure that they're always upskilling and that they're developing in every way. And most of all, there's a supportive team there. So with a VA recruitment agency, essentially what you're doing is you're just getting the lineup in front of you. You choose who you want to work with, and then from there, you just get ready to delegate and manage your team. And then the agency is there to support you and support your new virtual co-worker as well. Okay, so now you guys know all about how to hire your social media marketing efforts, finding killer team members to onboard and join you in your mission and your vision. If you did get a lot out of this video, please give me a like and a thumbs up. It's the same thing. A like, a thumbs up, a subscribe, whatever, y'all. Okay, it helps with the algorithms and I would really appreciate it. And if you're keen to know some of my insider hacks and you want to know all the HR stuff, the recruitment stuff, the SOPs, the back-end stuff, then I do have a free community which you are more than welcome to join if it feels in alignment for you. I will leave the link below for that. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.